Okay, hello, good afternoon. My name is Diana Camacho and I am going to present my research proposal. Okay, my research proposal, the title is Reflection on Critical Incidents in Learning Communities as a Contribution to the Teaching Practice and Knowledge of English Teachers at Jose Asuncion Silva School. I am planning to do that in public schools, but for the moment I have just the Jose Asuncion Silva School. But I want to do that in the public private school, I don't know. Okay, the topic of this research proposal is the critical incidents in teaching practice, especially in language teaching related to English or English, yes. Okay, the research problem that I have identified in my practicum is the lack of reflection on critical incidents by English teachers. They don't use one strategy to deal with the critical incidents or to face that. The justification, I think that it is very important to study because the teachers need to reflect, to be very thoughtful about the problems that can be presented in the teaching, in the practice. So obviously the teachers are my first audience, and the people of the universities, the directors, the administrators, the Minister of Education, I think, because I think they have to have the teachers very good with their experiences, I think. And obviously the rest of the people that want to know about the educational system in Colombia, or the experience that the teachers have when they are teaching, maybe. Okay, the research question that I have done is: how does reflection on critical incidents in a learning community contribute to in-service and pre-service, English teachers' practice and knowledge in district schools in Bogotá? I think that it has the information about the proposal. So here I have the research objectives of my proposal. That is, the general objective is to analyze the contributions of the reflection on critical incidents on in-service and pre-service, English teachers, practice and knowledge in district schools in Bogotá. The specific objectives are to identify some critical incidents in English language teaching, I think especially in schools of Bogotá. The second one is to analyze the in-service and pre-service reflections on the critical incidents that the teachers do. And the third one is to determine the contributions of the reflections on critical incidents on in-service and pre-service teachers' practice and knowledge. I think it's very important, that topic. Okay, in my theoretical framework, I have three important topics. The first one is obviously critical incidents, the second one is reflective practice, and the third one is learning communities. Okay, in the first one, the authors that have talked about critical incidents is Tripp and Thiel. Tripp did a definition of critical incidents as any unplanned and unforeseen event that occurs during class, outside of class, or during a teacher career, but is vividly remembered. Is something that always is in your mind. You remember that all the time. And Tripp developed one model to analyze the critical incidents. The first one is thinking and strategies, the challenge of why it happens, identification of the dilemma that I am living in the classroom with the problem, and the personal theory that I have about that situation. It is very, very important because I want to implement that model to analyze the critical incidents that I find in my research. I don't know. Okay, the second one is reflective practice. Authors like Thais has defined the reflective practice as a reflective teaching means looking at what you do in the classroom, thinking about why you do it, and thinking about if it works. It's a process of self-observation and self-evaluation. It is very important because the teachers can live reflective experience when they are teaching. They can say, okay, I'm doing it well, or it doesn't go well, I don't know, something like that, and reflect in that. The types that I found that proposed Sean are reflection on or from action, reflection on the action, and reflection for action. They are very important. And according to Gore and Seichner, the reflection has two processes that are the self-observation, and about that, the self-assessment that I as a teacher do. Okay, and the third one are learning communities. According to the Center of Developing of Child of the University of Harvard, the learning communities provide a space and a structure for people to align around a shared goal. Effective communities are both aspirational and practical. According to that, the learning communities are a group of people that reflect on something, that have a goal in common, and they want to know, to learn, to acquire information about that problem and to solve that together, to learn together, obviously. Okay, in the literature review, I have 6 studies. These studies have been developed in Europe, Asia, and Africa. These studies have not been developed in America or another continent. I don't know why. I looked for information about critical incidents in teaching in Colombia, but it was not possible for me to find that. I don't know why, but I want to do the first study or an example of that. I don't know. Okay, the first study that I revised in literature review is Bilbao and Moreneo. They classified, okay, all these studies found some critical incidents that are presented inside and outside the class. So they are related to one aspect of the language teaching. For example, the first one, wrong planning, wrong work group, taking notes and understanding of the contents, are related to the development of the students inside the classroom. For example, what they can do when they have one wrong planning and the students don't want to participate or something like that. The second one is about the ethical dilemmas that the teachers have when are dealing with the critical incidents or with the problems that are presented in the classroom, related to ethical dilemmas. The third one is related to the power that the teacher has inside the classroom related to the students. And how the okay, it is related to the teachers that start the work as teachers. But for example, when a teacher starts, the students receive him in a different way than a teacher that has more experience. I don't know, something like that. The fourth one is about Xianwei. Okay, this study was developed in Asia. In this study is very different because in this study he implemented one induction to critical incidents to know the purpose, the origin, the features of the critical incidents, and after that he wanted to do an analysis of some critical incidents based on that induction. Very, very good. And the next is you. It was developed in Asia and is based on how the critical incidents can help the teachers to improve their teaching practice. Good. And the last one is Megawati et al. It was made the last year and it is related to the dilemmas that the teacher has in a class. For example, if the teacher is woman or is man, they think that the perception of the student is different if it's a teacher girl or a teacher man. Something like that. But it's good. I really like the analysis of that. Okay, the instruments that I am planning to develop in my research proposal is a blog. I want to develop one blog where the teachers can participate in an anonymous or personal way. They can decide if they want to be anonymous or their name can appear in the answers. So in this blog, the teachers are going to share their contributions related to their experiences, stories that they have, biographies, narratives, advices that they want to give to another teachers that could deal with critical incidents in the future or have dealt with that in critical incidents. I think it is very important, and the purpose of this blog is to learn together in a learning community. They will share their contributions, but the other teachers are going to develop a reflection of that contribution. For example, if a teacher proposes one story, one experience, the other teachers are going to reflect on that experience and learn together, because as teachers, they could have the same problem. I don't know, but it's good. Okay, the research design is qualitative, obviously, because it's based on the information. I want to develop the narratives in the blog, and obviously they can talk me about experiences or their biography. For example, they have taught for, I don't know, 50 years, I don't know, something like that. I want to develop the narrative research, because I want to learn from the experience of the other, and they learn together. And based on that, I want to implement the analysis of the narrative inquiry, obviously, that is based on living, telling, retelling, and reliving. In living, obviously, the teachers live the incident, the problem. Telling, they decide to tell me to tell the other teachers to share their contribution. I don't know. Retelling